a subcategory.
Bryan, an apple and an orange are both fruits. It doesn't mean they're the same.
Yes, they are.
But it's a subcategory.
It's a fruit.
No,
It's a fruit. You know what
but they're
I'm
not the
saying?
same.
That's right. They're different fruits, but they're a fruit. You can't say that an apple and an orange are like one of them's a fruit and the other one fucking isn't.
Can you
So
make
if
apple
it's-
juice from orange?
That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're not the same, despite being.
They're the
Jesus.
same.
This is like one of the funniest conversations we've ever had. Hey, welcome back to the episode 145 of the HeadKanon podcast, everybody. I'm Jordan. That's Tay over there to my to my very right.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna lay this out. And then that's Bryan in the middle. Very
Yo,
he's actually touching grass today, so
I am.
very
Look at
proud
that.
of him.
it's fucking dead, but it's grass. It's cold as shit out there. It's 45
yeah.
degrees.
You need to have like a little winter jacket on or something out there.
That's all I got, baby.
Continuing from last week, we're just gonna keep going through because we kind of talked for a really long time about like just anime last week, and then we never really got to touch on like kind of the gaming side of like the nerd culture thing. So
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna touch a little bit of baseball there, but yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. But before we get into that, what do you guys been up to last week or everything like that? Anything new to you guys?
No, I made it back to Charlotte for a shoot. I've been on a shoot for the last 3 days.
What are you guys shooting?
10 to 12 hour days, but all 3 days. It was just a big client shoot. I was like shooting some training videos, and I am exhausted. I woke up today and I immediately needed like 4 ibuprofen.
Yeah.
My little arm was like fucked up.
What do they got you doing? Shoot it like camera?
Yeah, we were doing the setup. We're just standing around for like 10 to 12 hours, like listening to people talk. And then like the last day is B-roll. And B-roll is just like you just run around everywhere holding a 7-8 pound camera for 10 hours. And so
Damn.
my little footies hurt. That's what I'm trying to say.
You need to go to the gym with me so I can get you a nice arm workout going.
I really do need to get back into it. Every time I go on a shoot, I'm like, I need to be way stronger than I am. I need to have more endurance.
Speaking of which, Tay, you went to the gym this morning early. You've been getting up early, huh?
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, you fucking freaks.
You like? Well, I guess that's the best time to go to the gym is like at 3 a.m. Wait, you were going? What time is your gym open?
24 hours. You keep talking about this. It's 24
Yeah, we keep-
hours.
Most Planet Fitnesses are 24 hours.
Not the ones I've been to. Like
That's your
there's been
problem.
2 that I go to, and then there's like I go to Crunch, and they're not 24 hours. After COVID, they changed all of that.
No, that's
No.
your problem.
Crunch straight up told me the other day they were like 24 hours.
Which Crunch?
The
Well,
one you
that
went
might be
to.
that part of the town. The one I
No.
go to?
Yes.
The one I go to is open. They open at 5.
Listen, we have this conversation every time you mention the gym. I'm starting to think that you're wrong, Crockett.
What?
You gotta.
No,
you gotta,
they close early on the weekends too. Like they close at like it pisses me off because I get off at like 5 o'clock on the weekend,
You go to.
or I get
it,
off
by
at
the way.
4:30 on the weekend, and then I go to the gym. They close at 8. It pisses me off.
Is it one of those gyms where you like have a key fob and you can just get in even if there's nobody there?
No, it's someone at the counter.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why you
It's-
guys always keep having this conversation.
I just
One-
have to
one of
like
you is
I don't go. Well, it's like I guess because he goes more towards like where the college is, like UNCC.
Which one do you go to?
I go to 2. of
I go
them.
to one in Ballantyne.
All right. Well, maybe both of you are right. Who cares?
I think it's just like it's probably just like where it's at and like the clientele. But like I wish mine was like 24/7 because I would love to get up at fucking 3 and just get like early ass workout in
God, that's.
because my workouts take like 3 hours.
You shouldn't
Why
take
do you
3
work out for
hours.
3 hours a
The
day?
fuck?
It's just like this is the amount of stuff I'm doing.
No,
Just depending. Well, it depends. It depends on like what I'm doing. Like if it's like a shoulder day, it's not that long. But if it's like an arm day, I have a pretty long arm workout.
Do less stuff.
No, workout. Gym session shouldn't be literally over an hour, 30 minutes.
Oh,
You take it too long. Yeah.
It's elite. Well, I'm also doing 30 minutes of cardio
Me
on
too.
top of that.
Yeah, you're in the gym way too long. That's not normal.
I don't know. I mean, like between like waiting, also with like people there.
Are you doing full body workouts?
No, dude, just one muscle group.
3 hours?
Depending. Like if it's like chest or shoulders, it's not that long. It's like it might be an hour, 2 hours,
to see
hour
both
30
of
maybe.
You have a gym-based podcast, like a workout podcast. I feel like you guys would crush that.
Also, well, but even that, like, it's like I do ignition sets, so even doing ignition sets they're shorter. They're way faster because I'm only taking 15-second intervals. What's up?
You taking intense workouts?
Intense workout? They're kind of intense.
So you can do normal exercise with weights, or you can do like high weight exercises, like 5 reps, 3 sets.
I do. I do a lot of. Oh, it's an intermix. I do ignition sets on a lot, which ignition sets are just you do the highest you possibly go, and you try to aim for 10 reps. If you can't hit 10 reps, that's fine. You just go to failure pretty much on your the highest weight you can go. You drop weight, whatever it is. So if you do 30 pounds of your highest weight, let's say front lateral raises, you drop your weight down to 15, and you wait 15 seconds, and then you have to bust out 20 reps. Or if you go until you like get to 20 reps. With anytime you do rest though, you do 15-second intervals. But I try to go for the straight 20 because when you get that 20, it's just a straight burn. It feels so good.
You motherfucker.
What is that classic saying? Hurts so good?
You're insane.
Yeah, you're not.
That's on some things.
Are you
though.
bodybuilding?
Like shrugs. Yes.
No, because usually, you don't really have to do a lot of reps. You can just do at least like 12 to 15 max, 10 to minimum.
Well, I'm legitimately trying to bodybuild.
Where are you eating properly?
Yeah, for the most part.
What's your microcalories? What's your thing?
About 12 to 1,500 calories a day, which I think I've been bulking. Like I've legitimately my squats have went up 50 pounds. And my deadlifts would have went up.
Isn't 1,200 to 1,500 calories like a deficit to lose weight?
Depending on your height and your body weight already.
Yeah, I need
calorie
what is your?
It's all dependent.
What's your height?
I'm 5'5".
What's your weight?
My weight now, which I guess from Christmas and all that, where I just been eating like shit. I think that's how I got so much more muscle mass because I just bulked up. But I'm sitting at like 150 pounds.
You guys should.
But my squat is like 205. That's what I rep. So my squat's probably sitting around like 3.
How many reps?
Or not 3, but probably like 280.
How many reps?
10 for 3 sets.
All right, good.
I actually no.
Why are you
might go
guys
4
doing
reps.
anything other for a job than personal training?
I don't know.
not
I think I should have been.
capitalizing
I
on
think I should have been a personal trainer a
Just
long
because you know
time
the basics
ago.
doesn't mean you should like, be personal. Someone told me this too.
No,
like no,
You don't know, but it's not that you know the basics. Like I know the basics. The basics is like you go in deficit and then you eat enough to bulk up. You guys know like legitimate science. Like Crockett knows how the muscles are targeted, how they not get injured when you're doing form. Like Crockett is really good at forms. Tay, you're really well informed about the process of like eating for losing weight and building workout. Like you guys are far beyond the basics.
He needs more
Yeah.
protein. I
Well-
don't think he his protein count. You should be eating at least like 280.
See
max.
what I'm
Not
saying?
280, but like 200.
No, I get enough protein. I just need to shred down. I need to go in calorie deficits.
No, not if
You
you want
guys
to
are
bulk up.
hilarious.
You're doing the opposite. To bulk up, you need to eat more.
No, I already bulked up. I gained a bunch of weight, but I gained a mass. I've gained mass. I just need to shred down now.
So
Like
now
I
you're
said,
on
like
your
I ate
fat
like
loss.
shit during. Yeah, Well, I'm like bigger. I'm bigger, but I'm fatter.
I think you're.
I need a cut.
No, I think you're supposed to do it actually. Or you don't actually go. Did you like to say bulk up, stop eating a lot, then
I wasn't trying to bulk up. I was just eating like shit during
you didn't bulk up? Then
the holidays.
You have to like check what you're eating constantly. You can't just say you bulked up and bulked up.
Well, I got fatter and stronger, so obviously I bulked up.
Not muscle wise. I mean, you
50
bulked up.
pounds of squat like 50 pounds in muscle mass is.
This is like watching two
I think I
scientists-
bulked up. I think I fucking. If my squat went up 50 pounds, that's quite a bit.
If you bulked up, mean your definition. You didn't gain definition, did you?
No,
So you get-
no. When you're shredding, that's when you get definition. You
Yeah,
lose
it's bulking
weight
up.
to get definition. Bulking up is mean your body gets wider.
This is like
And then you
watching
shred
that.
like two scientists like explain to you science.
It's a
But
Joe
this is
Rogan
like watching
podcast.
Tony Stark. It's like it's like watching Tony
Brian's so
Stark and Bruce Banner like debate on how to solve a problem.
Anyway, this is not a fitness podcast.
Yeah, it's okay. You guys.
Do you do cardio?
Do I do cardio?
Yeah.
I try to do cardio as much as I can. Sometimes, dude, it's like, sometimes I'm just like, I've been in the gym. Well, here's my thing, dude. I work fucking 12 hours a day, and then I go to the gym afterwards, and then I gotta go home and make dinner. So sometimes when it's like 9 o'clock at the gym, and I'm like, I really need to go home so I can go to bed, or I need to go home, make dinner, and eat, so I can go to bed at like 10 o'clock, so I can get up at 3:30 and go to work the next day. It's kind of like I skip 30 minutes of cardio a lot.
Crockett, quit your
Let me
job.
tell you something.
Open a bodybuilding like studio.
Jordan, I'll
That's a
walk
dream.
at least 20 miles a day guaranteed.
Yeah, but you also
And
work
I-
at Amazon. You get to
Yes.
constantly walk around.
And I
don't.
still
Like,
run a 5K.
Yeah.
You can do the same.
I used to run 5K when the gym was closed.
Are we like?
So I'm
measuring dicks
tired
right now?
while going in there. Huh?
Are we like measuring dicks right now? Is that what this is
No.
called?
No excuses. Get that cardio in.
I'm trying.
It ain't trying. Do it.
I do. I used to go. Well, I need to start doing this again. But I was like walking on my breaks at work,
Fucking
just to
Goku
get
and
in
Vegeta
a-
over here.
like 50 calories a burn.
No excuses, Kakarot.
No, literally. That once you keep doing that, you ain't gonna never do it.
Well, I mean, your workouts seem shorter than mine though. Like I'm
You're in there.
I'm
way
also
too long.
stretching. I also stretch for like
Me too.
15 minutes.
Yeah, stretch.
You know what would be a great video for you guys is you swap workout routines for a week, and then you block your way through them. I think that would be a great.
Tay, do
video
you even
for
log
guys.
your stuff?
What?
Do you even log it?
Yeah, I use my notes. I had a notes guy right here. Hang on.
I got a whole
This-
like. Hang on.
This is what I did today.
Motherfucker
didn't
gonna
delete
pull
it
out a notebook. Yeah, I feel like a great video for you guys would be to swap your workout routines for a week and then vlog every time that you do a workout.
Yeah, I did it today. You can see it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, waking up at 3 a.m. is crazy.
Yeah,
I'm usually
because you want
awake
to
at
touch the
3
machine.
a.m.
Right here.
If you want to do the
Workout.
machines, you gotta like for Wednesday was my cardio
Yeah,
leg
this
day.
is like my
and
arm
I
workout.
had to like
Like that's
had
all the
the,
shit I'm doing.
on my cardio leg day on Wednesday. Had to wait for the machines.
Yeah, it's
Which
crazy.
this
Waking
week
up.
I've been like just doing all my maxes basically.
Like
Gym?
this is my leg day. Like
What does that mean? Is it like the reps and the weights?
that's the
Just
reps I'm logging. Yeah, just make
remember
sure
what he
like
did.
because yeah. So when I go in next week, I can compare notes.
Yeah. I didn't realize that you guys were such fucking nerds about gym. I knew that you were gym rats, but I didn't know you were nerds about
Well,
it.
okay,
That's
so
awesome.
that's actually a good segue because like like nerd culture has infiltrated the gym now. It's like I feel like more dorks like go to the gym a lot more because they wanted that sick anime bod. They want to look
No.
like they out there they're in the gym trying to be Deku. They're trying to fucking
Trying to be,
No, I
that's
think
the
they're trying
worst one you're
to.
gonna
I
pick.
think they're trying to avoid a stereotype of being a geek.
No, it's 100% because they draw every character in anime now like just shredded.
Yeah,
But
So
That
they're
was
trying
the
to get
thing.
they're trying to get those anime bodies.
it's
That's why
the
kids.
JoJo effect.
Do you know how many people I go to the gym and see them wearing an anime shirt? They see it's either a Dragon Ball Z shirt, a Naruto shirt, something like that. Like they got some kind of anime
Bleach.
tattoo. Oh, Berserk. Berserk is like massive in the gym for some reason. They
For some
try to.
reason,
They
the guy's
want those.
fucking huge.
It's just like constantly like if you just see constantly jacked, ripped men, you like idolize. You're going to go to the gym try to get that physique.
Did you guys see the guy that's on TikTok that's training to use Guts' sword from Berserk?
Yeah, he fucking
Yeah.
like just like does like the whole like full
Full
it's
arm
like
workout.
a big dumbbell. Yeah, it's where he's
In
like,
fact, he's actually
whipping
getting
it.
bigger for doing that.
Yeah, he's getting ripped as fuck, dude. I saw his progress like a year later. dude is massive. Like his arms are fucking big.
A lot of weapons like from those time periods actually are that heavy.
They're not as heavy as a fucking Guts' sword, but they are fucking heavy. Like,
No,
even
not a
if
gut
you
sword, like a
beat-
great sword. A great sword is
Yeah,
like
that
what,
shit is
50
heavy.
plus pounds.
God damn.
Just imagine whipping that shit around. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all you did. If you was like a little peasant and you had nothing better to do than look at the fucking sky, then yeah.
A
I'd be
misconception,
training like
though,
crazy.
Well, if you were
People
a
think
peasant, you were
samurai. People think samurai was like what you see in the movies and games. They won't like that. They rarely pulled out their sword.
Yeah.
They only did it when they really need to.
I think they would only pull out their sword if it was going to be like death. Like it's
They were-
like
they were
drawing
kinda
a weapon.
gangster.
It's
Yeah,
Well,
they
you
were
know
more.
they were
They were
servants.
cowboys.
no, they were
Yeah.
servants.
No,
They
no,
served
like-
masters.
No jokes aside, they were cowboys. In fact, I think they predate cowboys. I think we
Ronin,
got a cowboys
Ronin
from
were
them.
cowboys.
Yeah.
Like the like outlaws, like. But like samurais, you went to a school. You were an elite. Like you went to like you trained as a young boy, and you had to study like calligraphy and all that shit. Like you went to a legit like it was like military school. But then you would be bought off, or like your master, whoever owned you, would send you there, and then you would just be like running security for them.
And ninjas was
really is
farmers
a-
too. I remember writing
yeah,
a
a lot
paper
of the
about
ninja
that.
weapons are farm instruments improvised to be weapons.
Yeah.
That really is the Joe Rogan podcast because we don't know what the fuck any of us are talking about.
No, I know what I'm talking about. I'm being serious.
Have you guys seen that movie 13 Assassin? It's completely sideways, but great. Oh, I watched Old Boy the other day too.
Old Boy
Man,
fucks.
that's a good movie.
Always a great movie.
Such a weird, like Korean humor has such a bizarre. It doesn't matter what. I don't think it matters what type of movie it is in
Mhm.
Korea. It's always gonna have that slight weird comedy bit to it.
Yeah, the Koreans are fun, man. Korean cinema is really fun. Anyway, I
Yeah,
gave us a perfect
when the first time I
segue.
watched,
I
You
gave us
did?
a perfect segue and then we squandered it.
what
No.
perfect segue?
I said, you guys are nerds about the gym, and then we squandered it.
Well, yeah, I mean we segued right out of that.
No, I was saying.
Anyway,
What are we,
so-
what are we
I
talking
think-
about today?
We're talking about how nerd culture, like we're continuing from like what we was talking about last week, is just how nerd culture is just normalized. It's
Yeah,
it's not even like nerd culture anymore. It's just how we present every day.
it's like nerd
You wouldn't
culture
call
became the
someone
mainstream.
yeah, because someone could go walk into a Target and buy like a My Hero shirt and not even know it's My Hero. Like they
Yeah.
just think it's normalized. It's completely normalized.
This
So
thing
the
is
more it
perfect.
comes into like consumer culture, the more it is like it's just I don't know, like it's like and maybe it's just is that just an American thing, or is that like you think it's like a everywhere thing where it's just like Asian culture or just dorky culture in general. I feel like chess is more prominent, card games are more prominent. People just do what people think back in like the 90s is more
Yeah.
like obscure things are more unobscure now.
Thank you. Obscure things are more
he?
unobscure now. I don't know what this is. My mom just gave it to me. It's a smoothie of
It
some
looks like
kind.
ooh. Is that, it
Frying
looks like
your-
beet juice or something.
Your quality is killing me.
What do you mean? Is it bad?
It's like we can barely. It's like you're gonna be really blocky on our end, but when
No,
the
it's
video
gonna be
comes out,
clear
you'll
on
be
his side.
fine. Yeah,
It's gonna be-
but it's like you're very choppy on our end.
Sorry.
like I'm not gonna like an Android phone.
My,
Yeah, it sounds like you're streaming from a paper cup right now.
One of those videos,
no, that's the worst.
that's Android Snapchat videos. It's like
Yeah.
choppy.
It's
They
like,
singing songs.
dude, it's always funny. It's like my quality's not bad. It's not like it's like Android quality's fine, and it's like it sounds like a robot.
it's funny because I look amazing on my computer right now.
You're running at like 2 frames per second.
You will be.
Yeah,
At least, hey, as long as the audio's fine, I can see like a general picture of you. We'll be okay.
that's fine. That's so funny. Well, last week we talked a lot about anime becoming mainstream, but Tay
Yeah.
said we didn't even get to mention gaming. And
Yeah.
gaming culture is
Yeah.
also like like you said, nerd culture in general has been kind of like on the rise of popularity to the point where it is like the mainstream now. Like if you mention anybody, like most people have a PS5 or an Xbox or a gaming PC. So like it's become the norm to be like a nerd in all of these things. But specifically when it comes to gaming, the culture has changed pretty significantly when it comes to like sitting down and playing video games. Like we have esports, like we had this whole bit about like you walking up to fourth night on your sixth period.
Yeah, they have it in school now. They have it like that's an elective.
Scholarships.
Like scholarships even that you can go and major in like competitive gaming.
Yeah,
Which is now it's like a sport.
which is fucking.
I
Which
awesome.
don't
they,
consider
I
it
mean, what
proper
was it
sport.
like back in? I think 2015 is like when they started putting like CS:GO and
Mhm.
Overwatch on ESPN, like competitive
Yeah,
or
people-
MLG and Call of Duty and all that.
People was really mad about that. I understand why. Like, come on.
They find it's not like an actual sport.
No, it's not actual sport.
Right, well, it's a sport in the same way that chess is a sport. You know, like it's a competitive thing that people do.
It's
So
yeah.
we call it a sport because it's a competition.
Well,
not a
that's more
sport
like mental
because it's a play.
exercises. I don't think you need no mental capability to play a video game like that.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do.
Reaction time probably.
Reaction time.
Like
you
what?
Need to,
You
need
mean
to
tell me
do-
Overwatch requires some sort of strategy?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Overwatch,
if you get on there,
CS:GO, all of those games require strategy.
I mean, if
Like,
you're getting your ass beat in a game,
you gotta.
No, I don't.
that's
So-
strategy.
Here. This is actually something that I'm like actually a little bit passionate about because in the same way that like basketball or soccer, you gotta know like what the team that you're playing against is doing to figure out a counter and figure out how to take the advantage. Like it's the same thing in gaming. Like you have an A side and a B side. An A side is implementing a specific strategy. If your strategy is not successful, then you have to have the game knowledge and the preparation of like your kit and like what you're using as a weapon to be able to counterattack what the team is doing so that you can win. Like it is absolutely a huge sense of strategy and game knowledge, which is why it's such a big deal when like game balances come out and like weapon statistics change. Maybe not for things like Call of Duty, because Call of Duty kind of sucks dick in the competitive scene, but like Overwatch, like hero-based shooters, Smite, League of Legends.
Okay, like Halo, for
Like
example.
Halo,
like
yeah.
Capture the Flag. That's it. I remember me, Bryan, and Sage were playing Halo, and I mean we were into it. Or imagine, or even like, hang on, even a better example. When we played Rocket League,
Yeah,
strategizing in Rocket League, trying to pass the ball and shit. That you know how intense those games get.
yeah. they
I
get
mean, I
pretty
was
intense.
standing up screaming. I was like, ah!
You gotta. It's a sport in the way that you have to come up with like a way to a strategy to win. So is chess. So is checkers. Like it is absolutely a sport. I think it's just a subcategory of sports, not necessarily. Like
I think,
play football
yeah, that's a
sport.
good example. You would have to probably break it down in the sense of like you have athletic sports and you have competitive, like action sport or
Yeah.
something.
Like poker, for example. Like poker gets played on ESPN as a sport.
Yeah, totally not an athletic thing. You can be
Yeah.
fat and fucking.
Yeah, you can be a fat alcoholic and still play poker on ESPN. So
I feel the same thing with bowling too. You can just be the worst out of shape
No,
person
bowling-
ever and just
no,
crush
bowling's a
at
sport.
bowling.
That requires a.
Bowling's
I
not
don't.
really
I
a
still don't
sport.
consider video games a sport, even if he was in the quote unquote competitive scene.
yeah, that's fine. It's okay for you to be wrong.
It's like you're not moving your body other than your damn fingers, or at least thinking like a.
Yeah,
What
not a
about
video
poker
game.
then?
Why do you classify a sport then? Like, do you have to have that same argument with like chess?
But it requires more thinking than video games.
No, it doesn't.
Chess is
It-
really
No,
hard
no
compared to
way.
video
No, it
games.
requires
Yes,
the
it
same-
does.
The knowledge
It's
base
teamwork.
is different. The knowledge base is different, but it is strategy.
That's like saying,
building.
"Oh, Uno is a competitive sport now." This how far we're going.
No, Uno. There's
More randomized.
for it to be a competitive sport, it has to have the advantage of strategy.
Like, what's next? Yu-Gi-Oh's a competitive sport?
It is a
Yu-Gi-Oh
competitive
is
sport.
a competitive sport.
No, it's
It
not.
is. It is.
No, it's not. No,
It
it's
is a
not.
competitive sport in the sense of strategy. You have to read your opponent's deck. You have to react to what your opponent is doing. You have to have the
That's why you
game
have
base.
the whole side deck thing. That's like the whole competitive, like that's the strategizing thing. It's like you change your deck, slight.
You got
The
it so
definition-
wrong. No, it's not.
The definition of sport is limited. in what
crazy.
you're using it. Yeah. You're using it like you have to be moving and like wasting physique. But if you're saying that chess is a sport, then you're also saying that Yu-Gi-Oh can be a sport because it's the same.
I know it sounds silly. It's
theory.
not. It's not in the.
Because
trend,
it
like,
is silly. It is. The fact
But,
that
like,
we're
it's not
considering
in the
these are sports is
same-
ridiculous.
It's not classic. It's not like a classically like known as a sport. Like I don't know. It's like what is it? I don't know. Would you consider like a cricket? That
Yeah,
seems like a
cricket.
ridiculous sport to me. Barely a sport, but it's still a sport.
Yeah. Darts
It's
is a
classified
sport.
as a sport.
Darts is a sport. Fucking
Darts as a sport is fucking stupid too, but
Yeah.
it's still a sport.
the fucking
No, it's
the-
not. That requires like physical accuracy. Not
So-
everyone
like
can
hand
do that.
movement on a mouse is still physical accuracy.
So does playing a game,
still-
Tay. The
No,
skill
it's
set is the
not.
same. It's just applied differently.
No, it's not. That's
I'm thinking
virtual.
fucking
That's
crazy
not real.
pills. It is real. You're
It's-
moving a mouse.
No, it's not. That's
It's 2 to
virtual.
1.
That's not.
Yeah.
That don't mean shit. See that tweet? He's
All right,
still,
can someone in the comments, please? All right, I want to hear about this in the comments about
Yeah.
this because I legitimately like. Do you guys consider like esports? It's in the name actually.
It's easy.
Esports.
electronic,
It's in the-
electronic
Electronic
keyword.
sports, yeah.
Electronic.
Electronic
Yeah,
sports.
It's not.
It's a sport, Tay.
No.
It's a sport.
Brian, calm down.
No, this blows my
God.
mind. Listen, I gotta get animated here because this blows my mind. Because it's like, we are into some things. Like gaming has become so mainstream right now that people can make
Where is
money
it?
off of it. To the like.
This
the
tweet
sports
says-
classification.
This tweet says getting cooked on Twitter doesn't mean you was wrong.
That is true. I mean, that's true.
That's how I feel right here. Like, no.
You know, like
Not
we
a
gotta
sport.
change the definitions here a little bit. Like anything that requires a big sense of strategy, and I think, in my opinion, against like a 1v1 or a team-based objective, can be a sport. Like Uno can be because it's mostly random, but like if you're telling me that chess is, here's what annoys me. If you're telling me that chess is a sport but CS:GO isn't, then there's a dissonance going on there.
What's your opinion on chess?
Who
You,
are you
you
talking to?
consider that a sport, Tay?
Yes, it's a very mental exercise.
Nah, shut the fuck up.
No, it is. That's not a joke. Like, it's a mental exercise. It's required more Not everyone can play chess the way these people guys do. Games you
I
can learn.
can't play.
Take
I
time.
can't play Halo like some people. Some people just have like fucking.
But it's an
reaction
easier,
times,
it's
like,
an easier way to learn Halo than chess. Not everyone can learn chess.
Chess is not hard to learn. I know how to play chess. I'm just. Not
I
good at
mean,
chess.
like it's like this. Well, yeah, it's the same thing. It's like I can learn to play chess, but I can't learn to play chess like a professional.
You know,
Like
you
I don't
to
have the
train.
bandwidth.
You have to train for
Just
it.
like someone playing like Halo like that. Like I can't get that good at Halo.
Like, chess requires more mental effort than Halo. Sorry.
I
Same
think
way
I
any
think
other
that-
of those damn games.
I really
think
have
that
to just agree to disagree
Yeah.
because I think anything you can apply like that is.
I would love to read a psychological study about like the mental effort that it takes to learn all of these things, because like chess is a very specific like base of knowledge, and so does Halo. And I don't think one of them is harder than the other. I think it's just a different skill set.
What about fighting games? Like fighting games is also like I think that's like one of the most cutting edge like mental endurance thing ever because you are looking at quick ass reaction time immediately as possible on
Yeah.
someone and countering that.
On a frame by frame basis.
And then not whiffing your combo either. Like I played like when we played Fighter Z, dude. I mean, it would be like a mental fucking game sometimes.
Yeah,
like
it
this
really is.
baiting somebody into like a move and then countering.
Yeah, I
Then
feel like
also keeping up with the meta and then seeing what changes they make to it and then evolving that into your strategy.
I think I felt like a god every time I got Crockett to come at me with Kid Buu, and I got to do my kickies on him with Vegito. That was
Yeah.
fucking great. I love that game. But yeah, anyway, that's my point. Like gaming has become so culturally prevalent to it when we're like now we're debating whether or not it's a sport or not. Because there are people doing it professionally. People are making money playing these things and like practicing.
I mean, millionaires.
like learning.
They're,
Yeah.
The kid that won the Fortnite thing is Fortnite. Low effort. It's a kind of like a low effort game
Why did he
in
win?
a sense. He won a fucking $1 million back
Oh,
in.
fuck.
That's like when people kind of woke up and like, you can win that much money playing this, because he beat out like a bunch of celebrities too. Like it
That's
was
awesome.
like 100. It was 100 people. It was like a giant LAN party. This was like a couple years back, and he won it. And it was like a fucking 15-year-old kid.
That's awesome. Shout out to that kid. Yeah, I think that, but it's an interesting point that we are kind of culturally, because 10 years ago, and Tay, I think that this is where a lot of your experience may be coming from, or a lot of like your predisposition to like calling gaming a sport, because it was always like people would get criticized quite heavily for like wanting to spend time like learning how to play Halo, or learning how to play Call of Duty, and doing all this thing. And I think that we're still in that midway point with gaming, where like some people view it kind of as a waste of time, or like not something that's worth spending time on, but other people are like kind of like keeping it on, and like, or not keeping it on, but bringing it up as like a legitimate avenue for some
Revenue.
sort of competitive gain and revenue. Yeah. And I think that conversation wasn't happening 10 years ago. Like, that is a brand new conversation.
Not to just like sidetrack too much, but it's like how like they did a survey, and the number one job that people wanted to have, like they did this in schools.
Yeah.
The number one job that they wanted was like influencer.
Yeah, but influencer
That's
is
like a viable.
different.
That's legit a viable job now.
Mm-hmm.
Just something completely like the market has created for people, like a whole different like revenue. So like esports player is a whole new like way of just making money, and like the more it's become normalized, like in like 10 years, it's probably just gonna be part of the zeitgeist of like that's a viable job if you want to go down that route. But like here's, what's that?
That's what I'm saying. Like you mentioned like influence and all that bullshit. Like the reason we see this uprising of esports is because it's video games. Fucking kids are attracted to it. That's a lot of revenue. That's why we see it now. It ain't because it's a more of some mental capabilities. No, it's more because the fucking market's
there's also
talent.
I mean, there's people that are just more talented at playing video games than other people.
It's like teens and kids gonna get into that because it's video games.
I think this is really interesting to me. This is fascinating to me. Because I'm seeing a lot of the conversation of like what our parents used to tell us is, oh, don't waste your time with this thing, like you're not doing anything crazy, in like what you're echoing, Tay. But like the way that game stream is moving, it's not because teens or kids are attracted to video games inherently. Like there are teens and kids that are attracted to basketball or the gym inherently, and they can do those things competitively. I think that this is just an avenue for the kids that are not interested in the other things to go in and like get good at. And that's
there's like hobbyists. There's like people that go play basketball as a pickup game in the park. They're not going to be like NBA players though. Even kids that go to college and do get paid for college don't even make it as professional though.
Yeah, I think that the gaming is the last, I think, frontier.
Because wait. If you think about it like this, is like basketball is like just a hobby. It's not you're not doing anything fucking amazing. You're just if you're very talented in a subject, then it's entertaining to watch. You're an entertainer. You're an athlete, but you're also just there to entertain people. You're not a fucking surgeon. You're not saving anyone's lives. You're not making anything out of yourself. You're just sit there to entertain. If the world fucking ended and we had to restart, you think that people are going to be playing basketball? No, you're going to be a fucking farmer. You're going to do something real world application. So the thing is, it's like it's all about what you want to put your time into. If you're entertaining enough, you can get paid for it. Which is that's what a sport is. It's just games.
No, but you're kind of wrong on that. For like physical sports, you are becoming something. Gaming for me, since it's a visual thing, like it's like electronic or digital, that's more like entertainment to me.
It's all entertainment. What does basketball do for somebody? You're good at shooting hoops, but can you save my life if I break my arm?
What does that have to do with the thing, though? That's not.
Well, it's the same thing. They're both entertaining.
No.
If you break it down to its core values.
Yeah, they both form of entertainment, but it's like
they're both considered a game. One just takes more of a different talent. But you can also get fucked over too. Like I wasn't born 6'10". I'm not going to ever be that good at basketball. Some people are just born with more talents than I was. They just have more of a physical capability than I or someone that's like born without their legs or something. It's like, well, they can never play basketball, but they can go another,
All right. I do think, and hey, I'm not saying this to like drag on anybody that thinks that way, but I do think that is an after effect of constantly being told in our youth that gaming had nothing to offer you except being entertaining. And like that's just not the case anymore, which is a great way to think about like how gaming has made it into the mainstream culture now, because gaming has dollars behind it, and you can like there's a whole industry about merge, and there's a whole industry about getting people to pay competitively to fund like esports events, and people train, people practice, people learn the game, learn the base knowledge.
In Charlotte, they was going to build an esports arena like a couple years ago. I don't think it ever went through, but they were building an entire arena here just for video games.
Yeah, we had the Carolina Esports Hub too. All of that thing. So like by the classic definition of sport, sure, it might not be a sport, but the amount of skill and dedication that needs to happen for you to get good at like Halo
it is
or
over
CSGO.
here.
Caroline Esports Hub.
No, it's Charlotte Phoenix. I seen because they do Rocket League. I remember them on Twitter.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've seen some people wearing T-shirts around Charlotte like that.
This is yeah. Oh my god.
That I do think, and I'm sorry to keep harping on it, but I do think that that's just an aftermath of like what the topic is today, which is like, when did it become mainstream? And I think it became mainstream recently enough that we're still having this conversation about whether or not it's a sport or not.
So let me throw this out there.
Mhm.
If your son or daughter wants to be an esports player when they grow up, how you take that?
I support them. That's what they want to do.
If they can make, if they have the talent for it.
Does it
Yeah.
seem strange to you though?
No, it doesn't.
Well, it's like my if I had a son and they're like, I want to be a basketball player. Well, I'm like, you better be fucking growing taller or something for it.
Yeah, it's like
He
if
can't
my
control
son-
that though.
You can't control being that good at video games either. Like I'm not
You
that
have more
good at
control of
certain
doing.
games.
You have more control of video games than your own height.
You have the same amount of control in developing a skill set in basketball as you do in Halo. It is the
No,
same.
That is true.
you don't.
It is the
No,
same
Yeah, you do.
ability.
Practice.
it's not.
What
if
is
I
it they say?
practice-
Practice.
Yeah. If I
You
practice
mean to tell
enough-
me I can glitch in real life to get a headshot? Come on.
You don't glitch.
we don't do glitches? What are you talking about? It's
But
all
does a
mouse
video game's
movement.
not? It's not real.
It is real, Tay. We made it. It's a vehicle through the sport. Like I can practice enough at basketball to learn how to get like an all net shot 9 times out of 10. The same way that I can practice enough in Halo or Call of Duty to get 9 out of 10 times a headshot, because it's all about.
No,
how
but
you
Brian. Okay.
yeah.
Buy
And-
Battlefield 2040. Buy the new Battlefield game, right? And buy a
Yeah.
basketball hoop. Spend a month shooting at basketball and spend a month playing Battlefield. Which one you get better first?
I probably will get, if I spend the exact same amount of hours at each of them, I probably, you know what? Here, let me give you that. I think I would get better.
Well,
at
it's like it
basketball.
depends. It's like who. No, it's like, well, what do you have better talent in? Is it you have better talent in playing basketball or better talent playing a video game?
Yeah, I think that I.
Some
would get
people are just
quicker-
more talent. Some people just have more talent in certain regions.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Some people are just more gifted.
But if I spend 30 days, and out of those 30 days, I spend 8 hours a day playing Battlefield 2042, and out of the other 30 days, I spend 8 hours a day fucking shooting hoops across the court, I am going to get equally good at either both of those things, except I will hit a plateau on my skill level in any one of those things at different points in time. Like, no matter how good I get at basketball, I am probably never going to make a full court shot. And no matter how good I get at Battlefield, I'm probably never to get an across the map Battlefield snipe, because both of those things require you to take in your environment, measure what you're doing, use the vehicle or the instrument that you're playing the sport with, like a basketball, that has a specific set of weight. And that weight, can your muscles ever get strong enough to shoot that ball consistently across a full court? In Battlefield, can your precision ever get good enough so that you can consistently make that shot in any given situation on the map that you're in well enough? It is the exact same idea. The only reason why we're sitting here fucking talking about whether one is more valid than the other is because at some points when we were growing up, somebody told us that video games wouldn't amount to anything, and we've internalized
That's not the
it.
reason I'm having this conversation.
And we've
I'm not even agreeing
internalized
with that.
Uh,
You the one that brought it up. I never said that.
We have
Nor fit it that
internalized
way.
it. Yeah. Well, but it's true. Like culturally, video games for us was like our parents were telling us that you should stop playing that. You're gonna be a bum. It's not gonna give you anything, and we proved them wrong. Like our generation, and the generation after us proved that generation wrong about how video games wouldn't be anything. It is a multi-billion-dollar entertainment industry on just the esports alone.
All right, what about
Yeah.
DDR? What about DDR? That's a physical video game. You have to be physically good at it. DDR, Dance Dance Revolution. Those games. You know where they're like stomping, they're dancing, they got to hit everything physically with their body. You have to be physically fit to play that fucking game good.
Yeah, I can't play
What?
DDR. I'll fucking
Dancing
get
not
heart
a
attack.
sport.
It is. It is a
Ballet?
sport.
I'm pretty sure or fucking like ice skating.
Yeah.
Ice skating I think ice skating is a sport.
What is the
It's like
definition
dancing.
for a sport? Like dance can also be classified as sport because it is equally as dangerous.
It's like saying playing a guitar is a sport. It's like that.
Planet what?
Aren't there guitar challenges?
Oh my god, let's move to a different topic.
Playing guitar. No,
This is the main topic now.
This is the main topic now. You've brought it on because it is
No,
amazing.
I didn't.
It is amazing. You said that esports are ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous that they're called esports now.
They
made
are
this happen.
ridiculous.
You could have just had the conversation that we were having, and we would have been fine. Now we're in.
No,
this
you
you're
just want me to
writing it
agree
out
with
us.
you. It's not happening. It's not a podcast.
Yeah, this is way more interesting than whatever bullshit we were going to talk about.
What about debates? Because we're having a debate right now.
Yeah.
Do you think debates are competitions or like a sports?
No.
Debates have more thinking than chess, Tay. They have more thinking than chess.
What?
Have you seen a debate? Have you
fuck?
seen? You know what a debate is?
I'm so angry.
People do research.
I can't even hear him.
Sorry, people do research about like the topic that they're going to be speaking of for weeks and months on end, and then they show up to stage to present it. So like the skill set is you do research for 3 months, then you show up on a stage, then you have the skill set to be entertaining, and like that requires way more mental fortitude than chess ever.
So can you predict what other guy's gonna say to you then, or
You
read
have
their steps 3 times ahead?
Yeah,
You have to
topics.
persuade them. You have to
It's
like
ridiculous.
you have to persuade them.
And
You have to bring in more facts.
Crockett, hold on a second. And the way like debates are competitive in the way that you both have the same topic at the same time. So if you do your research and you do your research enough to account for what the other guy might do their research on or what their thesis might be, you can counteract their points. And that is a competition. Your definition is just, it's a little limited, and I'm curious to know why that is. Because everything that you're saying that like chess requires because it's more mental thinking, there's another thing that requires much more mental thinking than chess, but it's not considered a sport. And why is that?
Okay, I looked it up. I said, is esports a real sport? It says esports athletes or esports events have officially been endorsed or recognized in some capacity by numerous governments around the world, including the United States, China, South Korea, India, and more. It is considered a sport by the definition.
Because Florida just denied it. I looked at an article about that.
Yeah.
It's not really
Florida?
official in the air.
Florida's
It's
not
just
even
some.
real. It's not even a real place. What the fuck
That's
do
the
they
key
know?
word there. I just read an
We
article.
have
The Florida government denied that.
Denied
So it isn't-
esports?
Esports exists clearly, but it's not officially a sport. We just call it esports. To answer Brian's question, the reason why we see it everywhere and why it's so normalized, because parents saw that kids are playing this hobby, which is supposed to be a hobby or a form of entertainment, bringing a lot of revenue to these corporations.
No, it's just
That's why you see
literally
it everywhere.
competitions. It's not just kids though. It's like grown. I mean, if you
But
want
that's
to
the
throw it
mass
way
market
back,
of it.
go
What?
way back. You go to like when there was only arcades. People are having competitions playing Mortal Kombat against each other.
Yeah, that's the mass. Why do you think these kids love Ninja so much? He's competitive. Or the other freaking Twitch streamers, they're competitive.
Well, that's a whole
Kids
different
watch
thing. That's
those.
a Twitch streamer.
But they're
That's
the-
an entertainer.
They're that audience though. That's what most of those players play on is on Twitch. They like Twitch streamers who do that career, which is these video games on Twitch. They follow
No,
them to the esports
they do.
events and watch them.
E-streamers or esports athletes do stream, but it's a different level, I think, of like one is more entertaining where you're talking, and one is like it's either you can be really good at talking, or one is like you're just really fucking good at the game and people want to, because people don't have that talent, so they want to watch somebody with that talent. Same thing as like people playing basketball. I'm not that good at basketball, but I could watch a basketball game and be impressed. It's the same thing.
Then ask me, why you tell me what are other than the characters presented in the game? Why do you think kids are so attracted to Fortnite?
Did you see the balloons in my screen?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
what
was
was that?
What
What'd
was
you
that?
have?
Was it a balloon?
Yeah, there were like digital balloons showed up on my screen. I have no idea what.
Digital balloons showed up
Yeah.
on your screen? I saw some. I thought you actually had real balloons.
Nope, those were digital. I don't know what happened.
What the? What in the
What do you
fuck?
do?
I didn't do a goddamn thing.
You hit the party button or something over there.
My hands are off the keyboard because they're freezing and in my pocket.
Is it your
How'd you-
birthday? What
how'd you
is
do that?
happening?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
was
Nobody's
weird.
even texted me. Yeah, I really don't mean to like dig on you, Tay, But I think that it's so funny to me because, in my opinion, that's like an antiquated view of viewing gaming. And Twitch streamers and esports games are entirely different markets. They're entirely different things.
In 10 years, it's just gonna be so normal that it'd probably be more.
It's already normal.
It's more
They're trying to make it
accessible.
normal.
Well, even like
That's what makes it
I
ridiculous.
wouldn't say
like,
it's even that
what's
accessible.
next?
You can get better at it, but you can't like. You can train well, but you also have to be talented as well.
It lines into the
go
territory
far.
like, oh, you're good at something. Let's make this just some kind of fucking thing now. It's getting
That's
to a point
exactly
it's
what
ridiculous.
basketball was. Throw ball in hoop. Who's
It's,
more talent? Like who has more talent and who has more physical capabilities?
now I'm not get your bag and all that thing, but it's leading to absurd territory here. Like, what's next?
What do you find it obscure?
Oh, I
Or,
rake
like,
really good. That's a sport now. like,
Competitive raking.
It could be.
that's what I'm talking about. You keep saying could.
But,
That's
like,
the issue.
It could. But like
Stop
we're saying
it.
that with basketball, throw a
Just
ball
because
in
you
a hoop.
can doesn't make it right. It doesn't work
Well,
that way.
Dude, raking
That's the issue.
would
That's
be a
why
more
esports
viable sport
exist,
for you. But
because
I
you
mean, like
could.
raking, like look at it this way. Raking's a more valuable sport because it's a physical sport in your terms, right?
The
Because I'm
fact
doing
that you
something
keep
physical,
giving me
I'm
definitions
physically
of
good.
things, you keep giving me definitions and could. That's the issue with esports. It's always about could.
No.
This
Well, the
don't
thing is
have
that-
to be
Well, esport
sports.
is considered a sport.
Hey,
And
what is the-
we're agreeing to think we're making everything sports now. That's the logic.
Yeah.
That's
what
what I
is
brought
the-
up
do you-
Uno for. like,
do
what
you
is
think-
this?
See, but Uno cannot be a sport because Uno is based on chance. Uno is based on
But by the
chance.
logic from video games, that's what it is.
No,
we
video
can make that
games
a
are not
sport.
chance. Video games are not chance at all. Video
I
games
Really?
think
have a set
video
of
games are
rules.
more viable as a sport than poker is.
Yeah, in my opinion, poker being a sport is fucking insane because it's a silly thing. But it is a sport because it's got a set of rules, it's got a strategy behind it, and then you can win or lose that game. So like, sports are anything that is a zero-sum game, which is like you can either win or lose. And in
It's also
gaming-
chance though because you don't know what's in the deck unless you're counting the cards.
yeah, but
Everything
and
is
that's true.
chance. All of these
No.
are chance. It's about your skill.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's skill manipulation.
Other than
in
maybe
poker.
chess, because you got to predict the enemy's moves. Sorry, go ahead.
And chess is like, chess isn't even that unpredictable because if your opponent makes a move, there are 700 strategies that you can memorize, and you know, okay, he's probably gonna do the fucking scagliatori defense or whatever the fuck, you know, that's not a real defense. But like, you can predict it based on your game knowledge. In Halo, if you see 4 people going to the right and 2 people going to the left, then you can say, oh, they're gonna go control the left side of the field. And then those 2 people are going to scout and flank us from the back and then take the flag from our team. So 4 people should stay behind the team, and then our best player should go over to the left side of the field or the right side of the field to counter attack their strategy. Like, there's a strategy involved in that. It is a zero.
You're pitting fake strategy into a video game. That's not happening.
It's not fake strategy. Have you seen the competitive like esports Halo players like talk about
Yes.
how they talk
Like
about the
Yes.
game, how they have to think about it? They have the
Oh my
same amount
God.
of strategy that like soccer. There's like, do you see the guy going with the ball to the right? That means he's probably going to try to shoot it to the guy to the left to make us confused, and the guy on the left can just take a punt. to
Yeah,
the
what
screen.
is like? There's the call out signs where you're like you see a player or you see a person on in a certain part where you say they're like like the L4 top 5. That means they're in the upper left corner of the map.
Yeah.
So they need to aim that way.
Or when people go, like, people have predicted like strategies in gaming to such degree. Where, like, one time on Halo, I saw a guy say, "Hey, this guy's going for our flag A, or the position for a flag." It means that the rest of his team are gonna come around the back with a warthog. That's specific. And then the guy went into the flag, and then sure as shit, 2 seconds later, the warthog shows up to flank the other team. It is like the predictability of it exists. And like, it's the same mental game that you're playing in any other like tabletop sport or whatever. Like D&D,
Especially when
can
you
be
have
a
like
sport.
two elite teams going head to head each other, like
Yeah.
strategizing. It's intense.
Because they have the game knowledge to know like what the other team is going to do, and the only way that you win is either executing better or planning a different set of strategies.
The only thing that's different between basketball or like any sport in video games is just physical, like how physical it is. One's way more physically demanding than the other.
Right, which it is.
But
like,
each require time and practice. Now, I'll give you like football or basketball or any like physical sport. You have to train as well, so you have to lift and shit. You have to become strong in what you're doing. Plus, you have to practice. You have to run your plays. There's no like for like esports. There's no like training your hand better.
Yeah,
You
there's
just
no
have to
physical
come. Your
regimen that you
reaction
can
time
take.
has to be faster, but you still have to practice.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
I agree, and I think that like classical sports, and I think that the distinction there I think is interesting. Like classical sports versus like new wave sports. It's like in classical.
I mean,
sports,
the answer is right there. Is the E. Esports is its own category of its own set of things.
yeah,
Yeah,
but,
it
but,
is its own category.
But when we say esports, and I think this is where you're disagreeing. When we say esports, you say that's not a sport. It's an
Yeah, because
electronic
sports is sport. Esports is esport. Yeah, they're completely
Sure.
different. That's
So-
that's the difference there.
But they're both sports.
So, but it's not. You think it's not like.
Sports is its own category.
You
Esports
so
is
you
its own
should
category.
you shouldn't say.
But
So you're saying you
esports is a
shouldn't
category
respect
of
somebody.
sports.
What'd you say, Jordan?
It's like you think. Is it you just don't give it the same respect?
No, it's not that. I said to get the bag, but esports is not a sport. It's esports. Sports is a sport.
Alright.
The E is that's literally why the E is there to separate the two.
But you do understand
Sure.
that by esports having sports in the name makes it a category of a sport, correct?
No, they're separate.
Like the sport noun there.
You can't play virtual 2K11 and be the same skill as a real life basketball player. That's not how that works.
You
What
have
about the
this-
kid
That's
that
what-
played four? Wait.
that's
What
why
about the
it's-
simi? What about wait?
that's
Wait, wait,
why
wait,
it's-
What about the
that's why I
guy
consider it
that
separately.
was? But what about that kid that was like played racing simulators all his life, and then he went and played like actually drove an actual car and was able to translate that over?
Yeah, they made a movie about that guy.
Wait. Fighter pilots have to train in simulators before they actually even get to fly a plane.
But it's
That's
not
a video game.
game. No, it's not.
That is a video game. That's an
No, it's not.
electronical thing.
You
that
not
they
see
have
that
to
game
train
on the
for.
market, Jordan.
Yeah, you do. People play
It's
that
a
game.
military baited thing. Come on.
I play fucking. What is that? There's the Charlotte Gamers. They have that fucking flight simulator thing.
Ace Combat.
It's not Ace Combat. It's some kind of
Combat.
simulator, but they have the whole fire stick, the chair.
They
The
all
reason
that.
is their
Go
difference
ahead.
from the names themselves is sports have its own set of things, have its own set of games. Esports have its own set of games. That's what makes them different.
I think
Yeah.
different, but some stuff does actually translate.
But here's the thing.
Do you think?
Alpha-
Wait. Okay. So do you find like
It's fucking
racing?
cold.
You find racing a sport, like driving a car, driving a metal machine. Because all you gotta do is fucking sit down and then steer. That's it.
What is that even considered a sport though? Like jokes
Yeah.
aside,
Yes.
like
Yeah. Racing is a
NASCAR,
sport. Considered.
the NASCAR drivers are considered athletes.
they're considered athletes.
Yes.
Which again, I don't agree with that either.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. no.
Yeah.
So
So you don't
listen,
find racing. So racing's not a sport.
this is fascinating to me. I feel like I'm dissecting a part of Tate's brain.
Yeah, as a Fox News article here, it's not considered a sport.
I believe that it
What's
was.
it considered then?
Yeah, see, I wasn't going fucking crazy. Like,
Is NASCAR a sport?
Racing is a sport for its competitiveness, but a driver is not a good representation of an athlete. Jeff Gordon is not Michael Jordan, best on the planet. He is Jeff Gordon, NASCAR driver. While having some attributes of a sport, is probably no more a sport than the soccer.
But this is interesting to me because I'm also not saying that the kid who won $1 million at Fortnite for being really good at Fortnite is Michael Jordan. Like, I'm not saying that they're on the same level. But like
No, me
driving
either.
sports,
Yeah.
driving sports, physical sports, and like esports, are all a subcategory of sports. Because sports is just playing a game competitively. They just happen to have a physical
Motorsport.
component.
Well, it's
Yeah.
considered motorsports.
see, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. You just put my so it's his own thing then. Like motorcycle
But
driving,
but
is his
still
own.
considered in the zeitgeist as a sport.
No,
a subcategory. It's
it's-
sport. It's sport, and then you have motorsport, esports. You have
All right.
subcategories.
Can you play
but
Call
it's
of
under-
Duty in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure can. It's called going to fucking war.
This is what I'm saying. Basketball. I mean, sports. The physical thing is golf, whatever. Basketball, football, esports, Overwatch, Rocket League, blah blah blah. motorsports, NASCAR racing, ATV, what the heck, motorcycles. That their own category. They're their own separate things.
Yeah, but they're all sports.
The answer's right in front of us.
But a category, for in order to be a subcategory.
Bryan, an apple and an orange are both fruits. It doesn't mean they're the same.
Yes, they are.
But it's a subcategory.
It's a fruit.
No,
It's a fruit. You know what
but they're
I'm
not the
saying?
same.
That's right. They're different fruits, but they're a fruit. You can't say that an apple and an orange are like one of them's a fruit and the other one fucking isn't.
Can you
So
make
if
apple
it's-
juice from an orange?
That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're not the same, despite being.
They're the
Jesus.
same.
This is like one of the funniest conversations we've ever had.
They're the same.
By your logic, you're
umbrella.
saying, "Oh, we can make apple juice from an orange." No, you're going to
I
make
genuinely appreciate
orange juice because
Jay
it's
dying
only
on
an
this hill.
orange. What?
I appreciate you dying on the hill because
No,
it's so entertaining.
I just got answers right there in front of me.
Yeah. No.
It's still
like,
a sport. It's still considered a subgenre of a sport.
You-
It's like think of a tree. Think of
Yeah.
a tree that has a branch.
Let her
right?
finish. Let her finish. Let her get up. Let her
The-
get up.
The tree has a branch,
Yeah.
right?
like a
It's
tree
still part
trunk.
of the fucking tree. The tree has a branch. The branch is part of a tree. You understand what I mean?
But an orange and apple doesn't grow in the same place.
It's still on a tree though. Like,
It's still what I
you
bring
know
up because
what?
like fruit, like what I said. That's what I said. Like you can't make apple juice from an orange. You only
you
make
can-
they,
orange juice.
but they still grow on the same tree.
But you
No,
can
you
make
still
a
grow
tr-
on
you
a
can-
tree.
You can make a tree that grows apples and oranges at the same time. Like that is the thing.
No, the
that
fuck you
happens
can't.
in-
What?
Yes, you can.
No, you
it's called
can't.
it's grafting. It's grafting. It happens. It's two trees in one tree. It happens.
What?
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. Literally look
because
it up.
two trees don't combine; they just somehow grow together. There's a difference.
they literally their tissue is so ingrained that if you wanted to separate one tree from the other, you would have to kill it.
So what do you
all
call
I'm-
the orange tree?
A tree that makes oranges.
No, you call it an orange tree.
Yeah, it's an orange tree. Yeah, I agree. But it's also a
An
fucking
apple tree is an apple tree.
But it's also
No.
a fucking tree. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like no matter what you put in here as it branches off, it all leads back to the same root word over here. And like it's sports, esports, motorsports, water sports, fucking whatever. Like they're all sports, okay?
A lot of Jordan just like googling orange and apple.
Yeah, you know,
It was called inclusion or inclusion or something. It was something weird. It has-
yeah. It's a thing that happens because they're both trees. So by virtue of both being trees, they can combine into one big thing and make apples and oranges. So by that logic, if you have esports and then you have motorsports, you can combine the two and like make a sports about competitive racing simulators, and it's still a sport.
Wait. All right. Can we just transition just off
Yeah.
this? What about movie? What about like games now? Like how
This
games,
is the
like, come
podcast.
in-
We're done.
Yeah, we are. I can't, there's no way you can get off this.
I understand what you're saying, Tay. I really do.
I don't think you do.
No, I do. I do, because you're saying that they're own different things. And you're right. They are their own different things. But at some
they-
point,
Then why
So
argue
same-
against me?
but at some point, they're the same fucking thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're not.
Like at some point in the timeline, they came from one thing. You know,
Yeah, they came from real sports.
the fucking cunt in like we have a sports, like in South America, soccer happened because a couple of cunts got together and kicked the ball through a hoop. And then throughout time that evolved. They didn't make it into a sport. It was a cultural thing. You know, like
Okay, let's boil it down to what is the actual sport definition?
Here, let's look up annoyingly the Wikipedia of sports. God, my fingers
Okay,
are fucking
a
freezing.
physical or it's an activity involving physical exertion or an skill in which individual or a team competes against another team or others
in.
for entertainment.
Here, let me do that. Yeah. Sport pertains to any form of physical activity or game, often competitive and organized, that aims to maintain, improve physical ability and skills while providing enjoyment to participants and in some cases entertainment to spectators. That is like the first paragraph of
What are you reading on?
I'm Wikipedia.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah. And then the word
Sport.
sport comes from the Old French disport, meaning leisure, with the oldest definition in English forming around 1300 being anything humans find amusing or entertaining. At the very root core of the word, it is anything that humans find amusing or entertaining. dating all the way back to the 1300s in England, the mother of the English language.
Okay, wait,
No.
right here. Okay, games. Someone wrote games, not sports. Games such as chess, poker, and other card games, billiards, pool, games type games, craps, pool, cushion, calm, cutthroat, may not be considered a sport by everyone. A game like marbles has the physical skill to be a sport,
game?
but lacks
Marbles?
regular competition. Because you have to physically be able to hit the marbles.
Yeah.
That is that can be considered a sport because it has physical attributes, but has lack of competition.
Yeah.
So in your definition, Tay, marbles is a sport, which I fucking don't consider that a sport,
I didn't consider sport either.
but it is considered a sport.
So look at the
Yeah.
criteria that we have for developing a sport. It has to have
So
an
because-
element of competition. It have in no way be harmful to any living creature. Not
So
rely on
but
equipment.
who's playing marbles though?
People play marbles.
But
Like-
also shooting.
they like Tom Brady
shooting is a
marbles?
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
accuracy.
find? Do you find shooting like shooting ranges a sport?
Yes, I think it's a sport. If it's moving an object, yes.
It's not moving. They're shooting at a target.
I'm thinking like, what's the thing they shoot a target and it doesn't move? What's
In
that?
in the Olympics, it's literally a sport to shoot a target at separate ranges.
Like
Yeah,
bung
like different-
arrows,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So the sport is here's the criteria for the GAIS, which is the GAISF, which is the Global Association of International Sports Federations. They govern what is considered a sport. They have to have an element of competition. They can't be harmful in any way to living creature. They can rely on equipment provided by a single supplier, and they cannot have any luck element specifically designed into the sport. So by that definition, poker isn't a sport, which I agree, because there is like a lot of luck in poker. But like it's a skill set, has equipment that you need to
Yeah.
specialize it. It's competitive in nature. Yeah, shit's a sport, dog.
I don't know how to play poker, but like, can you predict moves or make a strategy in poker?
You
Is that a
can't
thing?
predict. I mean, you can make an educated guess,
Mm-hmm.
but like you can't like predict a move.
Like, not to make fun of that game and it's what the culture behind it, but is it like something like Uno where you don't know what's happening, you're just playing as you go?
No,
No,
so
well, kinda.
halfway
in a
there, halfway there.
sense.
That's why I think
My
poker
camera
being
died,
called
by
a
the way.
sport. Oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
That's why I think poker being a sport is silly, because you can predict what's coming next into the deck, but you can make an educated decision based on the stuff that's already out on the card. I was gonna say on the field, like we're playing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. That's already out on the field. You can make an educated guess and then decide how to move accordingly based on your prediction. If your prediction is wrong, then you fucked up. But
It says
it's-
physical activity. Where's the physical activity coming from? Moving the cards?
no. The physical activity is just like it's an expression of
wouldn't it be
physical
mental?
activity. It would be mental, yeah. It would be like a lot of mental move.
Yeah, it's mental clearly, but it says the definition right here is physical by Poker News itself.
Yeah. it's
PokerNews.com said is given that poker is an activity including physical and mental exertion.
all right,
for set of
somebody
rules and costs.
faked
I don't know
that
the-
just to get money. Somebody faked
Maybe
that
like
one.
sitting, like leaning, not like sitting up straight in your chair. I just,
Like so what? Monopoly is a sport now?
no, it can be a sport. There's too much luck. You know what I'm saying? You know where we're at? There's where we're at. Like, it's too much luck involved in Monopoly. Like, D&D will never
it's-
be a sport.
yeah, D&D
much
won't
luck.
be a sport.
But the way the world's going, yeah, it will.
No.
How would it be a sport?
You can't
Because
It
the
can
world
be
keeps saying
entertainment.
yes to everything. And once it finds a
I
mass
don't know, man.
market
When we
bigger
put
than what we see now.
badminton as a sport, then yeah, we were saying yes to too much.
Say what
What'd
now?
you say? Play 'em what?
Badminton as a sport, yeah, we were saying it too much.
That, the bootlock tennis game?
Yeah, the little like puppy.
Sports.
So funny. Anyway, I guess the new podcast title is gaming is gaming a sport. That's what this episode is going to be.
That's gonna get a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
definitely-
views.
yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully too. Crockett, you want to send us out?
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. I got 7th period at Fortnite.
That's how ridiculous that is. Even though that was real.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, Jordan, I gotta go back to the gym and do exercising.
Yeah, the
You got
grilled
joy of having fun with your
things.
fingers.
He's like, what are you doing? I'm training for. It's like I'm doing push-ups, but I'm like, what are you doing? I'm training for esports.
I'm pretty sure they do use those finger things, especially fighter players. Like the.
Yeah,
I mean, there's probably physical. You probably got to like do something with your eyes though, like the strain on it. Strain
pretty
on your
sure-
eyes. You probably got to like fucking like do that corner check thing, like where you look at different corners inside the room to keep your eyes sharp.
I'm pretty sure their fingers are longer than normal too.
Yeah,
actually.
if you look into like I look into a microscope all day long.
Yeah.
They say that after about like every 30 minutes, what you should do is check you should look at different corners in the room,
Yeah.
to at different ranges to kind of recalibrate your eyes, so
Oh,
there's
that's
not so much physical strain. Same thing with you're on a computer screen all day. Like do that every once in a while, and it'll keep the strain off of them.
That's cool. Someone is smoking a big old fucking joint. It smells so loud out here.
That's all of Charlotte. You can be in a car and smell it. That's
It's
ridiculous.
fucking
Alright.
crazy.
Let's go ahead and end this so Bryan
Yeah.
can get his precious lungs back into the safety of his home. All right, guys, thank you for making it to the end of the podcast. I would love to hear what you guys think about this topic, and I want to hear your guys' debate in the comments or on Discord. If you guys want to follow us on Discord or anything like that, Liga, all the links are down below. If you guys want to follow us on all those things are down below too. If you like the show, give us a good rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you get your podcast services from. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like and then share them with your friends. Let them know if we're stupid or not, or if you like it or dislike it, or whatever your guys' opinion. I would love to hear about it, and I'd love to debate you guys on this
Perfect.
in the comments below. So, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
See you.